All right, everyone, thank you very much for joining us today for Your Home and Your Health, the 5 Facets of Wellness Design in a Pandemic and Beyond by Jamie Gold. My name is Jacqueline Luna. I am the Adult Services Librarian here at the Coronado Public Library. And I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you to the Friends of the Coronado Library who sponsor all of our programs here. So a little bit about Jamie. Jamie Gold is a certified wellness design consultant. She's a certified kitchen designer, certified aging in place specialist, and a Mayo Clinic certified wellness coach. She is the author of 3 books on design and remodeling. Her professional focus is the link between healthy living and healthy home spaces. She consults for homeowners in the home building industry on this topic and is a very popular speaker at trade shows around the country. We're very fortunate to have her on this very timely and very interesting talk. Just a quick little housekeeping thing before we go any further. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat and we'll do a Q&A at the end of the talk. Any other questions in the meantime, feel free to type in the chat. I'll be monitoring that the entire time. Without any further ado, I'm going to pass that over to Jamie. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jamie.
Oh, thank you very much for hosting. Thank you to everyone attending. And we are in strange times, certainly. This topic, if you saw the flyer for the event, talks about some takeaways that I want to deliver today. And these include optimizing your kitchen so that you can make healthier meals, optimizing your bedroom to help you sleep, optimizing that new work from home or new study space for your kids, for better ergonomics, improving your indoor air quality, which has always been important. It is even more important than ever right now. Reducing safety risks at home. And these may be things you've already thought about. They may be things that are new to you. Never hurts to have a reminder either way. And one of my personal favorites, why and how to create a self-care space for yourself in your home. So let's get going. One of the first things people always ask me is, what the heck is wellness design? And if you ask 5 different people, you might get 5 different answers. Mine is the practice of creating spaces that support the physical and emotional well-being of their occupants. And let's break that down for a minute. When I say spaces, I mean built environments. That could be public or private. It could be, say, a library or your living room, a public park or your powder room. But they are about spaces that we have created for people to use and enjoy. And occupants are people who are going to be in those spaces, either on a visiting basis or on a permanent basis. And for the purposes of this particular program and my professional practice, I look at spaces that people live in rather than ones that they might go to school in, like a college or elementary school. So that's the framework we're going to be looking at today. So since wellness design is such a huge topic that covers so many different areas, it's been around for a really, really long time. You can even say maybe the cavemen putting fire in their caves to warm themselves up is a wellness design feature, right up to current times where we look at smart home technology, making it safer and more convenient to be at home. But the 5 facets of wellness design is something that I've created just to make it easy to say, is this going to help me be healthier, safer, live a more accessible life, have more functionality, more comfort and joy? And by health and fitness, I'm talking about physical health and fitness. So something that, helps you support your back, with ergonomics would be a health example. Safety, something that helps you not create a fire in your home would be an example of safety. Accessibility are things like grab bars that just make it possible for somebody who has mobility issues to use their home. Functionality is a bigger category. It's something like, say, a low maintenance countertop that you don't have to spend extra time cleaning. You can enjoy your family or friends in that time. It just makes life easier. And of course, comfort and joy, the things that turn a house into a home, that create a refuge for us. Now, some elements, some home products and features contribute to more than one facet. And I say the more facets, the merrier. So an example of that would be a handheld massaging shower head. I discovered these years ago. And when I set up my own home here in San Diego, it was one of the first things I swapped out was a standard builder grade shower head for one that I could take off the handle and point at whatever muscle was howling at me. When you work out strenuously, you know that you can sometimes just have muscle ache. You can also have that sitting at a desk for hours working. So you just turn it to the massage setting and it will soothe whatever muscle is yelling at you at that moment. On the safety and security front, it can allow someone to shower sitting down if they have balance issues. From an accessibility standpoint, if somebody is in a wheelchair, say, they can just use that shower head easily while they're seated. Functionality, it makes it easier to clean hard to reach places on yourself, and it makes it easier to clean the tub and shower stall. And then comfort and joy, just that feeling great after you've had a hard workout and run or hike, whatever it is that you do to stay in shape. So that's 5 facets, one wellness design feature. And it's one that if you say are renting a place, right, you don't own a home or apartment, you can easily swap out the builder grade shower head and then put the builder grade shower head back on when you're ready to leave. So it works for both homeowners and renters. And I like those too, because not everyone is in a position where they can just do a full scale renovation, or it doesn't make sense. So let's look at wellness design from the standpoint of dealing with COVID, which could certainly impact future pandemics. I unfortunately don't think this is the last one we'll ever have to deal with, but it's something that helps you afterward as well. So one of the things about COVID is that it's not just transferred through droplets as was originally shared. CDC came out a few months ago and said it's also transmitted through aerosolized particles, much the way secondhand smoke are aerosolized particles that can stay in the air for a good long time. They don't know exactly how long, but it's not like it's just going to disappear or fall to the floor and that's it. You don't have to worry about it. We also have, in many cases, more people in our homes right now. You might have a spouse, roommate who's working from home and you're now working from home. You might have a college student who's back from campus and doing classes virtually. Your children might be studying from home and doing their classes from home. We also have many more hours indoors right now, both from those tasks that we're doing that maybe we left the home before to do, and the fact that it gets dark at freaking 5 o'clock and not everyone wants to go out running in the dark afterward. So we have just more hours inside. We have our homes multitasking in ways that they weren't intended to do. Maybe your home has a home office, but now there's 2 people working from home. Or maybe you have an extra bedroom, but it wasn't really designed for an older person who has health vulnerability issues. Maybe you were taken by surprise by toilet paper shortages earlier this year and you started to stock up. Well, now you've got to deal with where you're going to put everything. And if you're looking at, adding a freezer or a refrigerator, you might find that there are shortages in the appliance supply chain too. And then we all have more stress right now than ever before. I mean, the holiday seasons always add stress from more shopping and more, more chores. But right now you can add a pandemic to that, and the holidays not being what they've been before. You're probably not going to be gathering with people or getting on planes. You still have holiday stress, but it's showing up differently, and you have all this other health stress added onto it. So let's look at some of the things that we can do via wellness design to offset some of these. So let's look first at airborne transmission. Indoor air quality in your home is crucial. It's always important, but right now that we have a potentially deadly virus that can stay in the air for an unknown amount of time, it is absolutely essential to make sure that your indoor air is as good as it can be. And one of the things that health professionals recommend is keep your doors and windows open, as much as you can. Of course, screens help keep out the bugs. And, if we have a fire event sweep through and you have smoke and ash, you're going to keep them closed. But As much as you can, maximize your outdoor time. If you have a private patio, a balcony, a deck, a yard, look at things you could do outside and how you might enhance that space. Maybe with an outdoor heater, for example, or a comfortable seating area, and do things outside that you might otherwise have done indoors. And then look at ways to reduce your indoor pollutants. If you're going to be repainting, look for paints that are no or zero VOC, for example. If you're going to be bringing in electronics, maybe just keep in mind that those can off gas too, and where you might want to not have those. So I mentioned indoor air quality, which is often abbreviated as IAQ. You might have seen that. You want to improve whatever filtration you can at home. If you have central heating and air system, you can look at upgrading the air filters that you've put in there. Check the manufacturer specs for what it will handle without reducing performance or efficiency first. But if it can handle a MERV 13 filter, that's recommended by the Engineering Association as a good level. HEPA is one of the highest. Again, not all systems can handle that. People are also bringing in room filtration units, something more portable and smaller. That is certainly something you can look at. If you do get one of those, you want to make sure it's ozone free, or it says no ozone on it, or ask the manufacturer, because you don't want to be adding in that pollutant while taking out other pollutants. All kitchens, all bathrooms have some form of ventilation. You want to make sure that those are working at their best for health and for safety reasons. If you have a fireplace, make sure that it's operating properly, have it cleaned if you haven't. Eliminate any dust collectors. And that can be just, decorative elements, or it could be that stack of papers that seems to pile up in almost everyone's kitchens. I can't tell you the number of clients, and that was one of the first things they point out when you come in for a remodel consultation is, I have this stack of papers, I don't know what to do with. Well, those can collect dust and grime and grease, and you want to get rid of as many of those as you can. And then, include plants in your home. It's not as efficient as a HEPA filter, but it is an add-on, and they've got other wellness benefits too. The second facet I mentioned, the second feature of the pandemic, is you've got a crowded home. You've got more people. And that means that you might have more chances of people tripping over, say, charging cables for your kids' laptops where they're studying, or your partner working at the dining room table. Suddenly there's cords everywhere. Look at how people move around your home and make sure that you don't have trip hazards, whether it's a charging cable, whether it's your pet's food and water bowls. You'd be surprised at how many people trip over not only pet bowls, but the pets themselves. So you want to keep your walkways clear. That is definitely something that can improve the safety of your home. You want to, as much as possible, reduce the chance of germ transmission. Cold and flu germs can stay on surfaces, whether it's a faucet or whether it's a countertop, for 2 to 3 days potentially. So look at ways to reduce that. If you own your home, you could do hands-free faucets, you could do hands-free light switches. If you don't own the home, you could still do hands-free soap dispensers. There are quite a few products that you can turn into, hands-free operating. And that just means fewer people touching the same things. And if you are planning on any changes in your home in the new year, look for things that are as easy to clean and sanitize as possible. That could be things like porcelain and quartz, as opposed to granite or marble. Optimize your storage. You're bringing more things home to reduce your storage trips. Make sure that it's as well organized as possible. You can create zones in your kitchen and bathroom, just to make it more efficient, and put things where they're going to be used and as few people touching them as possible. If you do have people who are coming into your home, seniors, from nursing homes or from assisted living spaces, see what you can create for them in the way of separate space if they either have the virus already or they're at greater risk of that. Given that we have more hours indoors, make sure your smoke alarms are working, make sure you have a working carbon monoxide filter. If you've converted downstairs space into living areas, look at adding a radon detector. People don't think much about radon. Some homes have builder added protection, but if you don't know that, add one. That's the second leading cause of lung cancer after cigarette smoke. Declutter as much as you can. Add nature connections. If you have a great view to trees, a park, the beach, set up a seating area, set up your work areas that you can enjoy that view as much as possible. And create a self-care space for yourself where you could just nurture your inner needs, create quiet, create peace. We've got homes multitasking, as I mentioned, working, studying, working out, caring for older family members. This can involve all those facets. And let's look at each one so that you can optimize that for right now. And if this is going to continue for you beyond the pandemic, some people might be working from home indefinitely after this. So let's look at each of these. So you want ergonomic seating as much as you can. That folding chair that you had for the first few weeks is probably not going to work long term. If you don't want to go out and invest in a really premium new chair, you can look at a refurbished chair where you can add ergonomic features like back supports to the chair you already have. Look at good lighting. If you're reading any papers on your desk, your computer light might not be the optimum lighting, and you might be in a bedroom that has its only lighting source on the ceiling behind you. If you're using a space that you use for sleep or relaxation, create as much separation from your living space to the workspace. And that might be putting up a decorative screen. It might be adding a piece of furniture that closes up at the end of your workday. Or some people are converting closets with bifold doors into small home offices, and you can just close the door at the end of the day. That has the added advantage of, if you're using a bedroom, you're not getting the blue lights from your computer impacting your circadian rhythms that impact your sleep. The other thing is, if you're going to be sitting all day at a desk, maybe it's not the one that your employer set up for maximum comfort and ergonomics, you also want to be getting up periodically and moving around. Adjustable desks that you can sit and stand from are one approach, or you can add those risers on top of your existing desk or countertop or dining table to raise it to a height that you can alternate sitting and standing. Doctors say that sitting is the new smoking, so you don't want to be doing that all day. Get up, move around. Network security is another area that you might not think of it as a wellness design feature. I do, because somebody can access private data, can hack into your network and just kind of destroy your peace of mind. And if you're now working with employer files as well as your own, see if you can have the IT specialist from your company look at your network and make sure that it's as hack resistant as possible. Classroom space. You might have college students, you might have K-12 students. Child experts say create a designated area for them to study. The school is heading up timing, but you can set up a designated space. If you have more than one child sitting at the same table or desk studying, give them color-coded bins and folders so that each knows, this is mine, this is hers, it's his favorite color, it's her favorite color, and you have less germ spread between them, you have less fighting, less inefficiency. Maybe that's pipe dream, but it is certainly a head start at least. Again, look at ergonomic adjustable seating for your kids too. Look at task lighting for them, because they might still be using textbooks and not just computer lessons. So you want the best light possible shining on their reading material. Look at low maintenance finishes. I wouldn't necessarily set them up on a table that if they spilled something on it, if they got ink on it, it's going to give you a whole lot more stress. Cover it with something low maintenance that's easy to maintain. And know what your child's learning style is if they have any type of learning disabilities. It's another tip from a child psychology professional that I know, is if they're a visual learner, if they're a tactile learner, have those elements in their space. Talk to their teachers about what they might need so that you can make your home class as user-friendly as you can. Fitness space. How many people besides me are now working out in their homes and not just outdoors? If you're a runner, you could still run. But if you're doing any strength training, if you're doing any yoga, you're probably doing that at home. If you're bringing in elements, say, for example, you're adding a bar to a wall so you could do bar work, or you're adding a suspension system, make sure that you're reinforcing it. Make sure you're installing it properly. If you're bringing in one of those multi-weight stations, those could be really heavy. Consider if that really is going to work upstairs, especially in an older home. Consider the space around the equipment. Let's say you're bringing in one of these fancy new exercise bikes. You're bringing in a treadmill. It's not just the space that it takes, it's the clearance around it, getting on and off so you don't bang into a piece of furniture, or you're tripping and you're ending up in a window, heaven forbid. But it's also, if you're bringing a weight bench, it's you on that. It's your clearance. It's being able to use the full space. If you're doing high impact workouts, those are great for burning calories, but you don't want to be doing it on a concrete garage floor. So look at what type of cushioning you might be able to put down so you are creating some cushioning for your joints coming down on that. Noise and vibration issues. Everyone loves these new equipment, except the person who maybe has to sleep underneath or next door. So look at maybe a noise absorbing mat for underneath it. Look at potentially rearranging the room next to it if it's a place where somebody sleeps, so that their bed is not on a shared wall, for example. So look at all those considerations if you are setting up fitness at home. You've seen signs at gyms say re-rack your weights. You're the person doing the re-racking for any weights right now. So make it easy for yourself. If you're doing what my neighbors are doing and setting up a gym in their garage, you don't necessarily want passersby watching your workouts. So look at what you might be able to drop down that would still let air through, but would give you some privacy as well while you're working out. And then if you're not used to working out alone from home and you are suddenly doing that, look at what you can add for motivation. Maybe put your race medal rack in there, or pictures of your favorite fitness people, or pictures of yourself at your most fit. Whatever works for you to stay motivated, stay inspired. Let's look at having someone come into our home who has health issues, an older relative who might be moving out of a nursing home temporarily or out of an assisted living space. Ask yourself, do they need to be separated for their health or for yours if they've been exposed to the virus already? Is this going to be long-term, or is this going to be short-term? Is this a good opportunity to create a accessory dwelling unit on your property, if you have room for that, and if your local municipal codes allow that, or your homeowner codes? What safety features are needed for them? Talk to their healthcare team, talk to their occupational therapist if they have one, or their social worker. So you create a space that's accessible, that gives them some privacy and dignity. If that's going to be a long-term space and you're just setting it up, look at adding low maintenance finishes. I mentioned that with kids and study spaces, but let's say you have somebody who has a Parkinson's type issue, hand tremors. You don't want to be creating stress for them if they spill something, or stress for yourself. So look at things that are just, low maintenance, easy to clean. If you're upgrading a space, talk to the professionals that you're consulting on that. And look at some personalization that you can add for them. Some photos, some collectibles, some things that make that space theirs, even if it's for a short period of time. You want it to be as homey and comfortable for them as you can. Talked about shortages and storage, the great toilet paper mystery shortage of 2020. I don't know why it happened. I don't know that it won't happen again. If you're one of those people who remodeled a bathroom to include a bidet style toilet seat or a bidet style toilet, you already have a great wellness design feature. It's a fabulous toilet paper substitute because it gives you more hygienic and more gentle cleaning. If you have an older person coming in, you might want to look at a wall mount bidet style toilet, which could save them some trips getting in or out of the tub for intimate hygiene. And that improves their accessibility, improves their ability to live safely, whether it's your home or their home. Look at just zoning your storage, whether it's a kitchen, the bathroom, this work from home space, so that it's efficient, it's accessible, you're touching fewer things uh, between family members, which just reduces germ spread. And optimize your home storage so that you're reducing trips to the store. That is just one way to be out of a public space more often. And you're going to enjoy that too. You'll enjoy optimized home storage long after this is over. We talked about the fact that we've got pandemic stress on top of uh, just holiday season stress. A lot of people like to declutter. I say don't try to declutter the whole house at once. That can essentially add to your stress. Look at decluttering a key room that you need to work better for you right now. When I say optimize your bedroom for sleep, maybe you have your neighbor's wonderful holiday decorations blinking on and off in your bedroom window right now. So look at adding a blackout panel. You're going to enjoy it now, but you're also going to enjoy it, as the days get longer, and just if you have any sleep issues or someone, in your home does, those are fabulous for helping. Increase the nature quotient in your life. Maybe you're not going out and hiking more, but you could bring plants inside. You could bring them onto your patio. I mentioned enhancing your outdoor living space so you can use it more. This is a good time to reducing noise. Let's say you own your home and you haven't done any upgrades. This might be a good opportunity to replace hollow core builder grade doors with solid core doors. Or if you're planning built-ins, look at putting them in on a shared bedroom wall because that can muffle noise once it's filled with books. Create a self-care zone for yourself. And that could be a little challenging right now with more people, more tasks at home. For some people, that's just the bathroom, right? That's the place where you get some peace and quiet. So maybe you add a little spa element, like one of those massaging handheld shower heads or a tub tray, just so you can just have a little, peace and quiet for yourself and use it, retreat to your self-care zone on a daily basis. Incorporate personalization both in that self-care zone. Maybe it's a piece of art, a photograph, a faith element, like a religious icon. Maybe it's wonderful memories or cozy elements, favorite scents. Those can all just make a house a home. And I say add a big or small pampering element to your home. Doesn't have to be a $20,000 flotation tub, for example, or a steam shower. Those are wonderful, but maybe it's just that little tub tray that turns your bath into a spa experience. Whatever you could do to reduce stress for yourself in your home, the more of these facets you're going to hit. So let's take a quick look back at the takeaways that we promised to cover. We talked about optimizing your kitchen for convenient, healthy meal prep. And again, zoning your kitchen, improving the storage with accessible storage organizers is a way to do that. Rethinking your bedroom for better sleep with better indoor air quality, better room darkening, improving the quiet potential of it, creating ergonomic work from home and learning spaces with ergonomic chairs and adjustable height surfaces, improving your IAQ with better filtration, with plants, with indoor-outdoor living, reducing safety risks by eliminating trip hazards and reinforcing your data networks. And my personal favorite is creating that self-care space for yourself. So here's how to find out more about wellness design. First, you can ask your question in the chat box. You could pick up a copy of my new Wellness by Design book at the library. If you're not local, ask your library if it has it. Or you could buy it through Amazon, through bookshop.org and IndieBound. There are links on my website to different places you can buy it at jamiegold.net. I have a design blog that I publish weekly with links to more wellness info. I promote when I'm doing events like this through my book launch circle. I will never, ever rent or sell anybody's info, so you don't have to worry about that. In the book, there is a link that's listed on my site for more checklists, more resources, links to all the designers and providers of the many photos in the book. So if you see a picture you like and you want to know where it came from, you can go right to their website. And I'm on social media at JG Wellness Design. So if you have any questions, please do type them in the chat box. Jacqueline, do we have questions?
Thank you so much, Jamie. No, I don't see any questions in there yet, but if anyone has any, if you would like to go ahead and type them into the chat. I don't know about everyone else, but I found that to be an extremely informative and really helpful presentation. So thank you so much for your time, Jamie.
Oh, thank you. And again, somebody could go to your site for a link to this. They can go to my site. I'll have a link up in the next few days. So they want to watch it again. They want to go back to something they might have missed. They could certainly, ask me questions afterward. I'm happy to answer those as much as I can without, research, but they're just simple questions that I can answer. All the images were either from Pexels or Pixabay or from the book. And again, those are credited online on my website and in the back of the book as well. I want to thank everyone who came and attended, and I want to thank Coronado Public Library again for hosting this. I'll hang out here for a little bit, so if somebody has questions, I'm very happy to answer those.
Jamie, can you hear me? This is Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi. I just want to say I always knew how bright you were, but I had no idea how talented you were. I've made myself a list, starting with replacing my shower head and some important things. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't stand up straight, but I do need some ergonomic seating. So I'm going to get started on my list, and I may call on you for more help. Thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you for attending. I'm glad to hear that.
Fantastic. All right, if anyone has any questions, feel free to say. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending today. Make sure to check out our website, cplevents.org, for more upcoming information and other events we have planned for the next few months. Thank you very much.
And thank you again.
Thanks. All right, I'm going to stop recording.